Today I'm going to show you how I look at design. Today I'm gonna take you where the technology intersects with the real world. So we're gonna see a smart store. It's gonna be a little bit like the stores that Amazon made, but it's local, Polish. And obviously we're gonna look at it from the perspective of UI design. So I'm gonna look at their UI pretty closely and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. Okay, the only interface that we have here is this touchscreen display behind me, and next to that you just go into the store, take the stuff that you want, and you're done. So let's see what's going on that display. And sadly there is no English version, so I'm gonna try and translate. First of all, there is a clear indicator to turn on high contrast mode, and that is really awesome. But as they say, once you see, you can't unsee. Look at the question marks in the circles on the cards. They're a little bit too high, really badly aligned. Before heading into the store, I decided to also look at the help section, and this section looks a little bit messy, so back home I decided to actually redesign it quickly. I did a bit of a cleanup here, so first of all I enforced the same external margins on everything. Then I left aligned all the text fields and all the descriptions because this is actually going to make them easier to read. And then the FAQ button, instead of being in the center, I moved it to the bottom right. That way it counters the back arrow, which is also a strong element on the top left. For privacy reasons, I'm not gonna use and download their app, so instead I'm gonna just walk in using my credit card, and it's pretty simple. We end up on an informational screen that tells us to put our credit card towards the reader, and then on this little nice diagram on the actual screen everything is nice and proportional, but as you can see the actual real device isn't. So the reader is not exactly in the center of the screen, which makes the arrow pointing, well, to its top left edge a little bit. In a perfect world, the device itself would of course be symmetrical. But in this imperfect world, when hardware and software aren't really 100% combined, maybe the arrow should actually be pointing directly towards it, so maybe let's try moving the arrow a little bit to the right. And I know it feels out of place, but it's more informational that way. So I place my card onto the reader and a few seconds later I can enter the store. And the information says, "One moment please, we're checking your payment card." The little 3 dots animation is there to tell you that the display didn't freeze, that it's thinking that it's doing something. This is a very nice touch too. And the door is open and that confetti effect is super nice. Of course there is nothing fresh here, so no fruit, no bread, nothing like that. Just a lot of different snacks, drinks, but you can make yourself a coffee, and the ceiling is full of cameras. Okay, we're in the store. Obviously there's no alcohol here, because for that they would need somebody to check if you're old enough for that, but there is some nice quick stuff, and actually there is non-alcoholic beer over here, including ones that have 0.5%. So I guess they're not checking that. I'm just gonna grab one bottle like that. This is one of my favorite drinks. And basically that's the whole experience. You just tap your card, you pick one option. If you have their app, it's a little bit faster and simpler. And yeah, you take stuff and you walk out of the store, and we're gonna see what happens when I walk out. And okay, the door has locked behind me. I have my soft drink with me, and I should get a text message pretty soon with the transaction details, how much I spent, and whether they recognize the product correctly. Because it wasn't my first time there, my credit card was actually connected to a phone number, so a few minutes later I got a message and a nice looking clear receipt, and yes, this is the right product and the right price. Obviously you can use their mobile app, I just choose not to because I don't want to give my private data, but either way you have an option to use the app, you have an option to just use your card and any phone number including a dumb phone, and that kind of brings us a little bit closer to a future where most jobs will probably be automated, so we might have to think what's gonna happen with that. But I like that it just works, and I like how the interface is actually pretty refined for something mass-produced. So yeah, kudos Zabka, good job.